Hello there once again. Welcome to our new lecture. Again, I am Julissa Tirusagaran from BSc English 2A. And for today's video, I am going to demonstrate the different types of listening: discriminative listening, informational listening, appreciative listening, comprehensive listening, critical listening, therapeutic listening, and rapport listening. So what is listening? Listening is the ability to accurately receive and interpret messages in the communication process. It is the key to all effective communication. Without the ability to listen effectively, messages are easily misunderstood. As a result, communication breaks down. The sender of the message can easily become frustrated or irritated. Listening involves identifying sound of speech and processing them into words and sentences. When we listen, we use our ears to receive individual sounds, and we use our brain to convert those sounds into messages. Listening is more than hearing words. Listening is an active process by which students construct meaning, form, and respond to spoken or nonverbal messages. As such, it forms an integral part of the communication process and should be separated from other language arts. Listening comprehension complements reading comprehension. Verbally, clarifying the spoken message before, during, and after a presentation enhances listening comprehension. Above all, listening is the most used communication. So how do these types of listening differ from each other? So let's talk about first discriminative listening. So when we talk about discriminative listening is a type of listening involves identifying the difference between tones and sounds to figure out how these differences may affect the entire meaning of a sentence. So let's say, for example, we'll look at how I change tone from sad to happy. So I'll be saying the same words. For example, when I say I love you to someone, then I'll say I love you. Or I will say I love you. So we can see the difference of which tone sounds sincere and not. So it is one way of applying discriminative types of listening. Additionally, discriminative listening enables us to pick up on verbal cues that indicate what the speaker is truly saying or what emotions they are trying to express. For example, we may focus our listening on a dark part of the yard while walking the dog at the night to determine if the noise we just heard presents us with any danger. Okay, now let's proceed to informational listening. Informational listening entails listening with the goal of comprehending and retaining information. So, it is common in teaching and learning contexts, ranging from a student listening to an informative speech. So, let's say, for example, when you are listening to what your teacher is telling you in the class discussion, because you want to comprehend all the information given for you to absorb and understand the lesson. It is also used in when we listen to news reports, voicemail, and briefings at work. Or we would like to have an updates about COVID-19, about vaccination. Okay? Since retention and recall are important components of informational listening, good concentration and memory skills are keys. So to really understand the information, we must listen attentively and have good concentration. So that is informational listening. The next one is critical listening. Critical listening requires us to listen to a message and assess whether the message and the speaker are trustworthy. So critical listening can help us evaluate the message we already know. So let's say, for example, when you listen to your teacher's discussion about what communication is, that add knowledge to you, and you would evaluate that what you currently know is something that can be debunked or can be changed because it is different from what you know before. So by critical listening, you will be able to identify which kind of information would you like to use or not. So it is a kind of act like you were enlightened to which information is more acceptable to you. So you can achieve that by critical listening. Because again, you will be able to evaluate the message that you already know, whether the message is true or not. Okay, next is therapeutic or empathetical listening. Empathetical listening is the most challenging form of listening. Why do we say that it is the most challenging form of listening? So, from the word itself, empathy, you would like to show that you are concerned about others or you are concerned about whom you are talking with. So, it occurs when we try to understand or experience what a speaker is thinking or feeling. Because when we talk about empathy, it is very important for you to really understand their situation. You try to put yourselves in their shoes. And if you're trying to think and to be eager about how it feels to be in their situation, then that's the challenging part. Because not everyone can truly understand someone's situation. It is a way of deeply connecting with another person. Okay, now let's proceed to appreciative listening. Appreciative listening is listening for enjoyment. Indeed, this is our favorite learning style. Listening to music is a way to relax. Sure, we enjoy deep and profound conversations, and we're all for learning something new from the latest nature documentary, but there is nothing like listening to something for enjoyment. It could be that specific types of music lift your spirits or that your morning routine sets you up for a productive day. This form of listening can be done alone or with individuals who share your interest in whatever it is that you appreciate. This is usually done outside of working hours, with many individuals listening to radio dramas on a Sunday afternoon or listening to live music on a Friday night. So, listening to music is really the best way to relax. Okay, next is comprehensive listening. Comprehensive listening involves understanding the messages that are being communicated. Like discriminative listening, comprehensive listening is fundamental to all listening subtypes. So, in order to be able to use comprehensive listening and therefore gain understanding, the listener first needs appropriate vocabulary and language skills. Using overly complicated language or technical jargon, therefore, can be a barrier to comprehensive listening. Comprehensive listening is further complicated by the fact that two different people listening to the same thing may understand the message in two different ways. So this problem can be multiplied in a group setting, like a classroom or business meeting where numerous different meanings can be derived from what has been said. And additionally, comprehensive listening is complemented by sub-messages from nonverbal communication, such as the tone of voice, gestures, and other body language. These nonverbal signals can greatly aid communication and comprehension, but can also confuse and can potentially lead to a misunderstanding. So, in many listening situations, it is vital to seek clarification and use skills such as reflection and comprehension. So, that is comprehensive listening. Okay, and lastly, the rapport listening. So, this type of listening is the one we use when we're trying to build a relationship. We really want to engage with what's being said to show a keen interest and be ready to respond with something appropriate. So we thought we'd end on a high note with style of listening that is really positive and lovely. Rapport listening involves quite a few of the styles we've already mentioned, but take things to a different level. So, when trying to build rapport with others, we can engage in a type of listening that encourages the other person to trust and like us. A salesman, for example, may make an effort to listen carefully to what you are saying as a way to promote trust and potentially make a sale. So, this type of listening is common in situations of negotiation. So, that's all for today. Thank you so much for listening. God bless and have a great day.